Look at these shades. They're just so, so pretty. I'm obsessed, and they just melt into the skin beautifully. Hi guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're doing my May Clean Beauty favorites. And May somehow sped past. And I know like the beginning of the month and like mid kind of were pretty fast for me. I had my birthday, which normally it's a nightmare for me because I'm not great with birthdays. I feel like you're either a birthday person or you're not. And like you have a great time or you cry. Like there's no in between. Let me know. Let me know if I'm alone on thinking that there's like you're either one or the other, because I was actually talking to my friends about this and they were like, yeah, there's like no in between with birthdays. So I'd love to know if you agree down below. And I really enjoyed this month. I had my birthday, I had my friend's wedding, which was really fun. I did my own makeup for that wedding, which I like doing my own makeup for events like weddings and stuff like that, because I just feel like, and it's no shade to like people who do wedding makeup because they do such a great job, but I just feel like I know my face the best, so I know how I like it to look. And even if I'm like matching the exact look that the wedding makeup artist is doing, I just feel like I like the way that I do my own makeup best. Do you do your own makeup for weddings? I would love to know down below as well. But yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started because I've been yapping on way too long. And it's like, girl, we get it. So if you're excited for this video, more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into my May Clean Beauty favorites. All right, May Clean Beauty favorites. Let's jump right in. I'm going to do makeup first, then skincare and hair. Let's get into the video. So first I want to talk brows. Now, brows really haven't changed that much. I feel like it really takes a lot for me to get new favorites when it comes to brow products, just because the ones that I love are tried and true. And my favorite brow gel is this one from Rose Inc. This is their clear brow gel. And I have a backup of this. You know a product's a favorite if you have backups. I have backups of this. I love this product. It's really good. And then my favorite brow pencil is from Westman Atelier, and this is just so good. So this is the shade Bark, and I know this is expensive, okay, but I've had this for a whole year. So this is $38 for a whole year of product, whereas like if I get like a cheap, a more affordable, like maybe a skinnier one or whatever, I get through it quicker because there's a ton of product in this. And also you don't need as much as you need with other brow pencils, I've noticed. So this is definitely worth the money. And I know Westman Atelier is like crazy expensive, but this is totally worth it. I did see that Victoria Beckham Beauty came out with a new brow pencil, so I'm slapping that in my cart as soon as possible, but these are great. So the next, this feels real random, but that's okay. Next I want to talk about lip liner. I've been loving this lip liner all month. This is the RMS Beauty lip liner, and this is in the shade, what is it? Sunset Nude. They came out with a whole collection of nude lip pencils. Maybe I'll apply a little bit for you guys. They came out with this whole collection of like nude or more nude lip pencils, and this is great. And if you are looking for a good, not pink but not brown, like more like one that would be really good in summer and you're my complexion, this is a great shade. So I have just a little bit of gloss on, but I'm going to apply this lip liner. I just love it, and it's a really good neutral shade for regardless of what type of blush or eye color you're wearing, which is also why I really like this. I mean, I guess that's why it's called nude. Girl, get it together. I mean, look how pretty that is. That is a grade A lip liner color, especially if you're my complexion. But they have an incredible like range of colors. I was really impressed. So these are also really hydrating. I don't know. I love them. They are giving my Victoria Beckham Beauty lip liners a run for their money. But I still love the Victoria Beckham Beauty lip liners, but this shade specifically is great. So the next one, we're going to move on to actually a foundation, which is surprising, but I've been grabbing this out of any product I have. This is one I've been grabbing a ton this month, and I've been loving it. The Haus Labs foundation. I'm back on my Haus Labs in the shade 330. Is it 330? Yeah, 330 medium cool. This is a great shade match for me. And I really really enjoy this formula. And if I need it to be sheared out a little bit more, because we know I'm like more of a sheer like skin complexion person than I am for every day than I am with like a more medium to full coverage or anything like that. So I like to do like a drop of an oil, or I might even mix it with a little bit of my face cream. This has been great. I love this. It just gives you the most gorgeous skin. I like to blend this with my fingers. I don't like to use a brush or a sponge. It just, on my skin, it just ended up looking way more textured weirdly. But this is a great product. And if you have been contemplating buying this or using this or whatever, I highly recommend. And I wonder if you could get like a sample, like you know how you can go to Sephora and ask for a little sample and they like squirt a little bit out. Definitely try it out. Really, really good. Okay, so the next we have another lip product that I should have mentioned with the lip liner, but I was not paying attention. We have this from RMS Beauty as well as the lip liner, and this is their Lip Lights lip balm, and I have the shade Bare, which I love, and this is really great pH colored. This is a great pH lip product. It doesn't make my lips too pink. I really enjoy this. The only thing is the cap broke, which I find really irritating. And I'm sure it's something I did because it's not like the cap is made of not like something easily breakable. I don't know what I did. I had it in my purse when it happened, so I'm sure something. So I have to glue that back on, but I really like this lip product. It's really hydrating, thick, luxurious. I'm a big fan. The only thing I'm not a fan of, I have to say, is this type of packaging. I've said it before, but it's not my favorite, but the product works, so whatever. Okay, so then next, let's move on to mascaras. So I have two mascaras I've actually been loving this month, and I like to layer them. So I've been loving Jones Road Beauty. Obviously, live, breathe, die by this. It's so good. I mean, this has been a favorite for literally since it came out. I've been obsessed with this. This is really, really good. And I've been loving pairing it with the Tower 28 mascara. The mix of the two is just everything. Real big fan. Really, really good. Have you tried the combo of the two? If you have, let me know down below. I really enjoy them. And so the Jones Road Beauty is more of a macaroni noodle shape, or a U shape, I should say. It's really pretty. It's a bigger wand, which I do enjoy. It gives me like volume, length, all of it. It's just really good. And then the Tower 28 one is also kind of a little bit of a macaroni U shape, but it is a plastic one, which I like. And the combo of the two just looks great. Okay, so the next we're going on to another eye product. This eyeliner, this specific one, this color, Victoria Beckham Beauty in eyeliner in the shade Cocoa, I believe. Is it Cocoa? Whatever the brown shade is. It is great. I really like it. I've talked about it a ton of times on this channel. I am a really, really big fan of it. And it just, I like that the way it smudges. It's why I like it so much. And when it smudges, it like doesn't budge. It's great. So the next, and by when it smudges, I mean, you actually smudge it out. I don't find like it smudges around my face or anything like that. I just want to be clear. So the next, primer. So I have been grabbing this primer a ton, especially now that it's getting warmer. And I did wear this when I was like doing my makeup for that wedding. This is amazing. So this is the Nude Sticks Blot and Blur Matte Stick. And I have like an oily T-zone. I'm combo skin. And so this just like keeps everything looking right and tight all day, which is great. I really like this. It's a stick and you just roll it up. You can just kind of apply it directly to your face. Don't apply too much. A little bit goes a long way. And then just kind of like spread it out with your fingers. And I usually apply forehead, and I just apply it a little bit here, and then I'll spread it out. I'll apply it right here because I get really, really oily right here by the end of the day. So this really controls it. And then on my chin and my mustache area, because girl, who wants a sweaty upper lip? Not me. So it does such a good job at like keeping everything controlled all day. I'm obsessed. And honestly, I have a hard time with matte primers in general, but this one is like the perfect matte primer. I don't know how, it's just so good. Anyways, highly recommend checking it out, especially if you have an oily T-zone or you're doing your makeup for a wedding or an event, or you just want to look mattified all day. You don't have to put anything on top of it. I've done like a no makeup day where I did use a little bit of that, so I didn't look too crazy like when I'm outside or anything like that. Let's move on to concealers. So I have actually been grabbing, oh, let's do this. I've been using the Exa Beauty color corrector. Obsessed with it. Color correctors are hard to get right, and Exa Beauty really did a great job, and I hope they're still in stock because they were sold out for so long, and I was like, I want it because I had this shade Deep Peach, but I wanted the shade Peach because right now I'm a little bit pale, and so I felt like Deep Peach works better for me in summer, and this is like a great like year-round shade, or I can mix them together. They're so good. They like dry down and then don't move, but they don't like dry your under eyes out. I don't know. I'm obsessed with these. And then the concealer I've been using all month is this from Huda Beauty, and this is their Glowish. What is this called? Bright Light. It's so good. I wear the shade Tan Light in this. So good. I will apply it to my under eyes, let it sit for a second or like maybe even a minute, and then blend it out. When I have eye cream on, I can't do anything too oily because then it kind of slip and slides when I blend it out and kind of moves around more than I want when I'm blending it out. So I just have to make sure like my eye cream is really sunk in, absorbed, and then apply it and just make sure that it isn't too oily of a base. But this is really, really great, and it gives me like a nice hydrated, like brightened under eye. I really enjoy this, and I know that a lot of people love this product. So next we're going to move on to powder, and I still love the Amicale setting powder. I get the translucent shade. It's their Skin Melt Loose setting powder. I'm obsessed with this. It's like a really good soft matte, but it doesn't mattify too much. It's great for under the eyes. I really struggle with powder under my eye because it just sucks all the moisture out of my under eyes a lot of the time. This is not one of them, and it just sets the makeup. It is great. They also have like a darker brown shade and then a yellow shade, and great. I'm truly obsessed with this. And if you have really, really, really deep, rich color to your skin, this just like is not going to give you flashback. It's not going to show up crazy. They're geniuses over there. Truly, I am a fan. Next, we're moving on to bronzer and contours. So let's get into it. The first thing I've been loving is this, the Haus Labs powder bronzer. I'm a powder bronzer gal like year round. I do love a cream, but a powder just like is my fave. And this is the shade Medium Level 7. And what I love about the Haus Labs shades is that you can get a shade that is more of a rosy bronzer, which gives very much that summer bronze that you get. I don't know. They're so good. Finely milled, very, very creamy for a powder. I am obsessed. Very, very good. Next, we have a cream bronzer. I've been using this a ton, the LYS Beauty bronzer, and I have the shade Harmony in this. And I am a really, really big fan of this bronzer. It is like the perfect combo of warm and neutral, especially if you have my complexion and darker. They have an incredible range of shades, but they just do the undertones for darker, deep, rich skin so well because it's not too ashy, it's not giving corpse, it's not giving Cheeto or Oompa Loompa. It's like the perfect shade. I don't know. I'm obsessed with LYS Beauty, as you know, because I talk about them all the time. I am a huge fan of their cream bronzer. Highly recommend checking it out. So next we're talking about contour. So I don't contour my cheeks or anything else too much. I will contour my nose every once in a while. And especially in summertime, I like contouring my nose more. I don't know why. It just gives more of a summer vibe on me, and I feel like how I do it. And I've been loving the Westman Atelier one. So I have two shades. I have the shade Truffle, which is kind of it's the darker shade of the two that I have, and this is great, blends out beautifully. Now I know they're very, very expensive. I'm very aware of that. So there's a ton of other contours out there that aren't that expensive, but I really have been enjoying this. And I also have the shade Biscuit, which I got a mini of because it's like a lighter shade, but this has more of a gray undertone. So I do like to apply maybe a little bit of a mix of the two, or if I'm looking for something a little bit more gray in undertone, I will go here, but both are perfect. Love them both. Okay, next let's move on to blush. So I have a couple of blushes for a couple of reasons. So I have been really loving doing a cream blush with a powder on top. So I have 2 cream blushes and 2 powder blushes that I have been liking to kind of mix and match. So first, these Kulfi blushes, they're just so good. So I have the shade, this is Sandalwood Swirls, I believe, yes, and Pinky Promise, gorge. I mean, look, me and Pinky Promise right now are giving the most summer spring vibes ever, but these are great. They melt into the skin, they are pigmented, and they last really long. They are just really good, and if you're sleeping on these, don't. Kulfi has some incredible products, and these are just so good. I mean, you know I love their concealer. It's usually my favorite concealer. It's just so, so good. So then next we have from Micole, stick blushes. So these are actually their multi-sticks. I have the shade Dune that I've been grabbing the most. And it's just gorgeous. Let me just show. I mean, it is just so pretty. It is such a good everyday shade. And then I have the shade Hibiscus, which is a newer shade. They actually sent me this one, and I was jazzed. Look at these shades. They're just so, so pretty. I'm obsessed, and they just melt into the skin beautifully, and they last really well on the cheeks. I'm a really big fan. So next, for my powder blushes, I have been loving these. These are the Bare Minerals blushes, and they're like their Gen Nude bronzer blush duos, and this is the shade Kiss of Pink and Kiss of Rose. I've been loving. The shade Kiss of Rose is like such a good like layer on top of Dune. Loving, incredible. And I also have been loving Kiss of Pink, which is kind of my most used. It's the easiest year-round shade for me, and it just gives like a really pretty blush. I'm just obsessed. Next powder blushes that I've been loving, the Haus Labs powder blushes. I have 2 shades, Hibiscus Haze. Oh wait, the Micole one's called Hibiscus too. What a coinky dink. And Pomelo Peach. These are gorgeous. I love them. They are just so, so good. I have a whole video kind of talking about them, so I'm not going to talk too much, but they're incredible. So then next, let's move on to tools I've been loving. So I have been really into curling my lashes, even if I'm not like using mascara, and I love this curler. This is the Shiseido curler. It is really good if you struggle with finding a good eyelash curler that works with your eye shape, that doesn't pinch or anything. Definitely check this out, because I struggle with most lash curlers, but this one is great. And I know it's a little bit expensive. I believe it's $23, but in my opinion, it's really worth it. And you get an additional like little patty thing, this like black thing that's in it. So that's nice too. So next, I've been loving this brush. This from Hourglass. So this is their, what is it, their dual powder brush, I believe. And it's so good. So I will use either side for bronzer, or even like this one for a little bit more pinpointed blush, or just to completely powder my face and like do a light powder all over. This is great. And it's definitely worth the money. I know that Hourglass brushes are really expensive, but they are definitely worth the money if you can afford them, or if you want to spend the money on them. They last really long. They're, I don't know, I'm obsessed with them. I highly recommend checking them out. But if you don't want to spend the money on this, there are a bunch of brands that have great dual-ended brushes that are really fluffy and just so good. I'm just obsessed. But there's a lot of other alternatives out there. So next we're going to move on to skincare and hair. So the first thing I've been using, this, I love this. So this is from the brand Fresh, and this is their Smooth Lip Primer. This used to be their like, they used to call it something else, and it's a very good exfoliating product, weirdly enough, even though it's a primer. And it just smooth. I'm actually not kidding. You put it on your lips. It's like basically like thin like water. You put it on your lips. Very little bit goes a long way. This is another product I have a backup of because I can't live without it. I put it on my lips, and it completely melts in and just smooths out my lips completely. Even if they're looking like a jaggedy dry mess, it's just smooth. It's wild. And when I use this, I notice that I don't pick at my lips as much, because I don't have that much to pick, if that makes sense, because it's kind of, I don't know, it just gets rid of the dead skin, or like smooths out the dead skin. And I notice in the morning my lips aren't quite as dry. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this stuff. It is very, very good. Check it out. Next, I've been using this a ton this month. This is the Ella Luz Beauty Oil. I love this. I'll put a couple drops in my foundation. Like, I will pair these together. I will put a couple drops into my face cream as of late, and really been enjoying that. I also like to take a little bit on my fingers, like one, like not even a drop. I'll like touch my finger to the top of the dropper, get a little bit out, and then tap it into my under eyes, and it really just helps get rid of like under eye lines and really plumps out the lines. It's very, very good. I really enjoy it. And you can use it all over your face. There's a million different ways that you can use it, but it's a really great product. And I have been recently, my skin has been having, because I had that wedding and I had my birthday, and so there was more like socializing, more intense makeup, I should say. My skin has been having a little bit of a struggle time. Actually, we're in a better space now that it's the end of the month, but it's been struggling a little bit, and having the Ella Luz Beauty Oil and putting a couple drops into my face cream has been great. Oh, another product I didn't grab that I've been using nonstop is the Caudalie Detox Oil. It like truly changed my life, because I woke up after the wedding that I had. I woke up the next day, I was fine. Then the day after, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not going to break out. And then day 3 erupted in bumps, like the whole midsection of my face and like the bottom half, like of my cheeks down here and a little bit here, fully broken out. It was like little bumpies everywhere. It was horrific. And I used the Caudalie Detox Oil on my face nonstop. I would put a couple drops in my face cream. If I did foundation, I would do a couple drops in my foundation, but at night I would apply it on my skin and just let it soak in. And then like 4 days later, my skin was completely back to normal. That stuff is so good. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see what it looks like. I didn't grab it, but it's so good. That's another product I have a backup of, because they sold out of it at one point, and like, do I look crazy? It took me forever to find it, and it's because they like repackaged and they changed the formula a little bit, but it's still just as good. It's amazing. Speaking of troubling skin, I have been using this a ton. This is a mini of the product, but this is the Tower 28 SOS. This is great. I spray it all over my face, and when, like, after a flight, require. After, like, a long car ride, require. After, like, I get home from, let's say, a night out where I'm wearing more makeup, or even day when I'm wearing more makeup, or the beach or something like that. A product like this is really great. You just spray it on your face, and it helps, like, really tone down any breakups. Doesn't help tone down a breakup, but it tones down breakouts. It's really, really good. I enjoy this. And if you're trying to avoid getting breakouts, this is a nice product to have, because if I let me tell you, the reason my skin wasn't quite as bad as it normally is from like a wedding or an event or whatever, is I was using this as well. And like by the end, I should have used it throughout the weekend, but I was using this at the end of the weekend, like the morning, the Sunday I woke up, I like used this. I should have used this every day, and then I probably would have avoided the breakouts, but this is great. I love this. So the next, I talked about this 1,000 times. I will probably be talking about this until somehow a miracle happens and someone comes out with a better product than this. This is the Kosas deodorant. The Kosas Sport. I have Serene Clean, I believe is the scent. Yes. And I love this. I use it morning and night. I sweat at night. It could be 0 degrees in the room and I'll still sweat somehow. And I don't love being freezing when I'm in bed. Like it really depends, especially if I have allergies, then I don't love being freezing. But if my allergies aren't bad, I need to be freezing. But even when I'm cold, I sweat. So this is great, and I don't smell at all. And I said this before, but I am very smelly when I sweat. So this is great, because I like have never had a deodorant that really like completely makes me not have like a scent at all from sweating. It's very, very good. Okay, next. Ooh, let's do this body. So this is the Versed retinol. I love this. This is the body retinol. I love this product. It is so good. I've purchased this so many times, and I wish I took before and afters of using this, because I have really, really bad scarring on my back from like 2 years ago, where I was stressed. I mean, we were all stressed 2 years ago, but I was stressed. My back really erupted in stress acne, and this, like, the hyperpigmentation I had was like so dark. And usually my hyperpigmentation is like 3 to 4 years lasting, and this has completely changed how my skin kind of is, how long my skin holds on to hyperpigmentation. Because anyone that has hyperpigmentation can tell you she's rude and she needs to leave. Because, like, why do I still have acne marks even though the acne's gone? This is great. I really, really enjoy this. Ooh, let's do this next. Caudalie Grape Water. I really like this product. It's a great facial spray. Ooh. Knocking things over. I spray it on my face before I apply any of my serums or face creams or anything like that. And it really is just like an amazing product. This seems crazy, but it really makes me more hydrated. And so then because it helps with my hydration, it helps balance where I am oily, which is here, because if you're more hydrated, your body's not overcompensating. Like, my skin's not feeling dehydrated, so my body's not overcompensating in my T-zone for how like dehydrated it is internally. Even if you're not like dry skin with flakes, you could be dehydrated and it could be why you're as oily as you are. I've like learned over the years that really does make a difference, and this is great because my skincare just absorbs that much better. Because if you apply skincare on more damp skin, then, I mean, not soaking wet, right? You don't want it to like slide off your face, but like damp skin, it really does change how it kind of applies and how well it works. So the next, I've been loving this mask from Ren. This is their Comfort Rescue Mask, and this is great. Like, if you're hungover or you're just strug city, or your skin is just unhappy with you and you have redness, or like it's just not like doing well, this is a great product. I really enjoy this, and the smell, it's like nice and earthy, but it's not too strong, which I really enjoy. I don't know. I mean, I love Ren skincare products. This is really, really good. I like it a lot. Okay, so then lastly, we have this. This is from Reverie, and this is their scalp tonic, and I love this. This is their, it's called Cake, but it's their restorative scalp tonic. Listen, if you are struggling with your hair, or you're feeling like your hair isn't growing, or you're feeling like you're kind of at a standstill with your hair, I'm not saying you have to get this one, but definitely get a scalp product. And I have a bunch of different ones that like I love and I kind of rotate between, but this is the one I've been using the longest. Oh, maybe besides the Briogeo, like their charcoal drops, but I don't use that one. Like, this is my more everyday one. The Briogeo, they're like charcoal drops. I don't know what they're called, but they're for the scalp. They only have one scalp like drop. It's really good for when I'm struggling with like really dry scalp. This is great though. I love this. It is very hydrating. It makes my hair look really, really good. And I actually had someone tell me, because I did recommend this to people. I did have someone tell me that it made their hair super, super shiny. And that makes me really happy because sometimes you just need like a really healthy scalp for your hair to like reach its perfect potential. Of course, not all scalp products are going to work for everyone, because it kind of depends on your hair and what your hair needs and what ingredients your scalp really likes. But I love this. It's super, super good. And if you are on the hunt for a scalp tonic, this is great. This is not that cheap. This is, I think, $70, which I know. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Hands up. I should be arrested. But this is really good. I highly recommend checking this out. There's a ton of great scalps like products out there though that are way more affordable. I do find that scalp products tend to be in the range of like $65 and up. So this isn't the most expensive scalp tonic, but there are a ton of other products out there that are way more affordable that you can use. Don't feel like you only have to use this one, but it's really good. I enjoy it. And yeah, that is it for this video. That is it for my May Clean Beauty favorites. I would love to know down below, what have you been loving this month, whether it is a food, a drink, makeup, a show, ooh, a movie. Let me know down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.